There you go. That's a beauty right there. So today we have a brand new adventure for you. I am back on a farm with my friend Dolly, and she's right up there digging something. Over there on the other side of the pond, we did find a home site the last time we were here. Dolly found a beautiful spur from the Civil War. It's a Yankee spur. But today what we're going to do is we're going to just explore the rest of the fields, try to get into a new spot. If it doesn't work out, we may end up back over there a little bit later today. I have noticed already in this part of the field there's a lot of iron on the surface, and there's a lot of iron underneath because I can hear it with my metal detector, but I suspect this is all related to farm equipment. I want to dig up some of the bigger pieces. I think that's going to be a piece of a plow or something. And if it's not loose, I'm not going to go ahead and dig it all the way up. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. This is just like a rounded cobble from an ancient river. The red color I was thinking could be like from a fire, but I'm not so sure with this. Definitely been chipped here. That could be the result of a plow or disc when they're tilling the field. So definitely not gonna even hint that that could be an Indian tool, but it could be an Indian tool for breaking bones and stuff. First good target, I think, in my hand, and we're going to look at it together. I'm hoping that's going to be a flat button. You can see it's definitely copper, and I suspect it's going to be a beat up button. Nah, maybe not. Look, see, it's too big for a button, but it's definitely a little sheet of copper. I hope it's not a part of a shotgun shell. It may be. Shotgun shell is missing the base, the very bottom part. About 50 feet from where I found that little piece of copper, and I got a really sweet signal right there. Low 80s, could be a coin, could be a rifle casing, but it's definitely not a little piece of aluminum pull tab. All right, that is probably a big old chunk of pewter. All right, is it? Yep. All right, so what we have here appears to be a chunk of a pewter-like material. Could be zinc mixed in. I can't say that's going to be an old piece. I want to talk to you a little bit about rock breaks that are in fields like this and why it's a good idea to check around them. Back in the day when farmers were out here with their horse-drawn plows, and they use horses mostly in this area, although in New England they use oxen, they had to leave shade trees in the fields because the animals needed to rest quite often, okay? So you leave a big shade tree out in the middle of the field where if you couldn't plow it, that's a great place. And even if you could plow it, you still had to do that. Now, I think, and don't quote me on this, that the term furlong, which is a measure of distance, is a measure of the distance a horse can plow, drag a plow before you have to rest it. Now, of course, that's an old term from the UK. It's also a last name. I grew up with some people, the last name was Furlong. And when you see those, and you got to remember, I mean, not only farmers use them, but the Civil War soldiers did too. Like there's a river just very close to here with a ford, and I can just picture a soldier going across the river to rest in the shade of the trees. And that could have been right here. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Beautiful stream. Wow, we're gonna have to come down here detecting. When it warms up, maybe we'll go ahead and give this a shot. See if there's anything in here. Now, we haven't found anything in the field, so I don't see any reason there'd be anything in the water. But you never know. Go ahead and get back up in the field. Work back and forth. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna work the length of this stream, because that would be a prime area for there to be another home site. Although we can check in here, it's not going to be ideal for detecting. If you listen off in the distance, I think that's the farmer laying down a little bit of suppressing fire so that we don't cross the stream and get on his property. Must be very possessive. Either that or there's a shooting range over there. What would have caused that rock to be in the ground like this? And that's not a small one either. I mean, it's like sticking straight up. That's actually kind of dangerous. My first thought, it might be like a marker for a grave. Here's a can that looks like it had been buried not too long ago that's now on the surface. So I'm wondering if somebody's sneaking back here metal detecting. The owner said that they haven't given permission to anyone, and well, I guess at least a couple years, and they only came a few times. So that's kind of suspicious right there. Saw this tree, I thought I'd check it out, because sometimes they leave trees where there's stone foundations or old wells. And I thought this was kind of cool, so I think we'll look at it together. Look at this. That thing is hollow, and there's some animals that live in it. Isn't that neat? Well, I think it's neat anyway. Make a nice little shelter if you were a 6-inch tall man. Don't see any mini balls hanging out down there. Or any trout. Boy, that's a nice deep hole for such a small stream. Look at the size of this tree. This is a witness tree to the Civil War for sure. That thing's huge, probably 300 years old. Let's look at these rocks and then we'll be on our way. Oh, boy, I tell you, as I'm walking along, I got this really sickly sweet smell. Kind of like honey, but not honey. And what I think it is, I think it's a type of ant. There's ants that live in the ground. They can kind of orange-ish. And when you dig them up, it smells really, really sweet. And I smell that my entire life, and I've been going through the woods and stuff on occasion. And I think that's exactly what it is. And if I see any of those ants, I actually saw some the other day, I'll show them to you. And describe the smell, which is sickly sweet. So I've already done that part of it. All right, quit talking. Beautiful little creek. We'll walk this maybe in the summer, and we'll look at the banks to see if we can see any evidence of, home sites or trash pits or fire pits. There should be some Indian stuff around here too. In fact, this is named after an Indian tribe, local Indian tribe. Ooh, looky. I'll pick these up, shake it, see if there's gold coins in them. I think it's just snuff. A nice signal here. I'm just glad I didn't reach down and grab it real quick. This is a broadhead to hunt deer, and that's those are like little razor blade things on the end of it. And I'm just really glad I didn't try to grab that with my hands. That's an evil device, isn't it? Wowza, little switchblade. All right, so I have been walking around for an hour or two, not really getting much, just kind of wandering around. I did just find a fired bullet. This is a shotgun slug, modern shotgun slug. Boy, I tell you, just really, really peak it out here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Check this out. Look at this piece of quartz. Isn't that weird? So it's a piece of quartz, and it's got like a big old hole in it. And yeah, you can see a few crystals in there too. It's like a little hidey hole for something. Gold coins, maybe. I'm actually going to keep that because I kind of like that rock. That might be a good target right there. It's definitely brass. Too thick to be a coin though, and too small, isn't it? What do you think it is? Oh, wow. Maybe, oh, I know what that is. You know what that is? I'm going to turn it around. And you're going to look on this side. You're going to see an eagle holding a pitchfork. Actually, you're not going to see an eagle holding a pitchfork, but you're going to see an American eagle with some writing around it. And this is kind of a neat little find. This is what they call a saw nut. This goes into a handle of a handsaw, like the old-timey handsaws. That's exactly what that is. That's pretty, isn't it? I like that. It's a beautiful little piece right there. Well, this, my friend, is a killer signal. Look at that. Very small, right up in the high 80s, low 90s. That's not a silver coin. Small silver coin. I don't know what it is. We're going to find out, aren't we? See it? Oh, there it is. Looky. Is that a silver coin, or is that a piece of junk? I think it's a piece of junk. Look how shiny it is. It's thick. I think it's going to be a piece of junk. What is it? Oh my God, it's a battery. Energizer battery. Wow. Now, this is actually the first one I've ever found out in the field, and those things scream. Look at that. That sounds just like a little silver coin. Look at that. Read just like it too. 91, 92. Oh, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Oh man. It looks like a little blob of melted pewter. Could be part of a spoon that melted in a house that caught fire. I'm not really sure, but yeah, give a good, nice little signal anyway. So what you find?
I don't know, but it's round and it's green.
Is it? Oh, awesome. That is a large scent.
Is it really?
It is. And why don't you pick her up on out of there now? There you go. That's a beauty right there.
Definitely a...
What I would do
dry it out.
is let it dry, and then we'll clean it up a little bit. But
yeah,
I'd say that's a U.S. large scent for sure.
Oh my God!
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Awesome.
You're doing great.
This is where I found the stirrup.
Yeah,
So.
you're doing great. Much better than the Chig.
Hey, beginners.
Well, let's look at this machine you're using. She's using this fancy machine. That's why.
That's right.
Got that old Garrett Ace 400.
That's right.
That's a finding machine, though. I mean, you're doing great with it.
Picking up those little teeny tiny
That's awesome. All right, so that's gonna have to end it for our little adventure today. We didn't find a whole lot, but we got to walk around the farm and discover for ourselves that there's not a whole lot here. Anywho, hope you enjoyed the little adventure. And I hope you enjoyed the little tips I gave you too. I need to do that more often, I suppose. All right, until the next time, you take her easy, okay? I know I'm going to.
She's promised to keep hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity.